Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to our channel. I am Woven, and on this channel, we talk all things travel, lifestyle, finance, and sometimes tradition. And on today's video, we are looking at personal finances for someone that earns minimum wage, right? I know you guys have been asking, Woven, do you plan on talking about low income earners? Guys, I can only talk about what I receive, right? So what I receive, I'll be able to talk about. What I do not have, I cannot talk about. So please feel free to engage me if you want to talk finances, personal finances, financial coaching. Here's my email address. It's woven@outlook.com. Now, as we talk and as we engage today, please do know that this is in no way financial advice. If you need financial advice, please contact a registered financial advisor. Now, let us look at what this individual had to say. And they also shared their earnings. But first up, they're like, I'm a cleaner and I've worked for a year and a half. I'm in the government. So you can see this person is relatively young, right? I took a loan in the third month of working. Imagine I had just started. Yeah. My take home is currently I have a child. Baby daddy supports if he wants. What do you guys get the audacity to support your children when you want? And when you don't want, who's supposed to support them? And he hardly wants. I am drowning and I am only kept moving by prayers. I stay with my child and the child goes to school. I took a loan to invest in a business that fell drastically. I'll send my payslip tomorrow. Right? Whenever I look at a situation, I like to approach it seeing where there are wins and what we can work on. Now, a win here is one you're employed by government, right? The fact that you're employed by government, who's one of the most secure employers in Namibia, that's a plus. The minimum wages that we're looking at here is quite a reality for vast majority of the Namibian employment pool. You guys would have seen the stats from the census that was conducted in 2024 that I shared previously, right? So then I asked, okay, outside of what you just shared, what are your everyday expenses like? Like, what is your rent? What is any other expenses, groceries, the child school fees, all that, right? So then they did get back to me. So let's look at their payslip and then we'll look at their expenses. So what you would see there, again, they're a government employee. They have the basic salary of 3,733 Namibian dollars. Then they've got transport, 876. So I say it's fixed for everybody in government, doesn't matter. Or at least I've seen a teacher's payslip in HR and this one, more or less the same for the benefits. Then housing allowance of 871. So their total earnings is 5,418. Now they live in Windhoek. Earnings is 5,418. Let us look at their deductions. So this is a grade 7, a cleaner. Their deductions, they have their medical aid contribution. So this must be them and their child, I guess, of 360. Then social security of $33 Namibian dollars. So you contribute, they said 9% of your earnings. So I'm guessing this is 9%. Then there is GIPF. They contribute a little bit to their pension, which is 261. Okay. Then comes the loan. So they first got a loan, which they are now paying 305 Namibian dollars. Then I can see there they've got a metropolitan of 85 Namibian dollars. another metropolitan of 85 Namibian dollars, another metropolitan of 651. So I try to get more detail, but I'm assuming this is insurance policies slash funeral covers, right? And then there's another loan amount of 1,559. Total deductions 3,340. So their net pay, their take home is 2,130.71. That is the reality of most of the employment or the employed pool in the Namibian sector. Now, let's look at what else she had to say in terms of her expenses. Because one, she said she's drowning. So we're just trying to see how do we work around these finances? How do we help you? Right? So let's look at her expenses. From the 2,100 that she takes home, these are her expenses. Before we look at her expenses, I then asked, do you have any additional income, from somewhere, given that the space lab that you're sharing only has 2,100, you have a whole human being dependent on you. Do you have any additional sources of income? Right? And then she said, one, the good part is, so we're looking at income and expenses here. The good part is I don't rent. I have my place. I like this girl. She land grabbed. No, I cannot disclose this information. Whoever is looking for it, it's confidential. Please don't land grab, guys. But also, the city and all the other stakeholders just need to come to the party to provide solutions that will avoid people from land grabbing. Then she says she pays 250 Namibian dollars for her school child. So out of that 2.1, 250 goes to a child. So there's about 1.9 left. And then she walks to work. That is a discipline. But also she says this because she doesn't have a choice. I mean, if you look at 1.9 that is left behind. But at least the child's school is nearby. And I'm glad that she's making these decisions to say, I can now not go get my child to go every day they skip and earn and involve because that's additional funds on our bill. And on top of that, we have a baby daddy that just won't support. He supports when he feels like it and he hardly feels like it. Guys, please talk to your brothers. Okay, then she continues to say she does not have any additional sources of income besides selling sweets at work. Okay, I love the fact that she's taken the initiative to do something, generate a bit like sweets. It's part of the solution. Number one, and I always say this, I always say it to everyone that is eligible to earn a living. Try and have multiple streams of income. That is one of the solutions we're then looking at for her, multiple streams of income. And even I have multiple streams of income. And I'm employed. I would like to believe I earn fairly well, but I still have multiple streams of income because you just never know. In this world, at any point in time, one of your incomes could be taken away. And will you be able to live? So try and find another source of income. Even just a 1,000 Namibian dollars goes a long way. So for her, one, the sweets selling business, she can bump that up. And then instead of just sweets, you can also have cookies. You can have, very many little things. So yeah, you can try to sell various things to earn you an income. And then also indicated that on weekends, try to get a part-time job, right? So at least she's willing. She said she's willing to get a part-time job. And then no part-time job, but I would love one. Okay, at least there's willingness there. I still have almost 4 years of paying off the loans till I'm done. I paid a year and 4 months so far. Lenders, we have a responsibility to play to society. Then my second loan was when I took out to go to SA and do a course. So I eventually work in the mine, but I still can't get a job there. And if I don't get a job by December, I'm moving abroad for greener pastures. This lady has a plan, right? I love her. She keeps trying. She doesn't just say, these are my circumstances and this is it. So let us then look at some possible solutions, right? We have looked at her whole story, her earnings, her expenses, her baby daddy that does not feel like, I don't know. Here, we'll get to it. So, number one, the loans. Guys, my beautiful people, I always say delayed gratification. If we look at her payslip, you would have noted one, she does not pay tax. So within the Namibian jurisdiction, between 0 to 100,000, if you earn between 0 to 100,000, your earnings are not taxed. And as you can see here, 5,500, that's just a little over 60,000. So she is, or her earnings are not taxable, which is a good thing, right? Then at least she gets to keep more. But now, we've got loans coming in at 301.560. So this is basically 1,860 Namibian dollars is going to her loans. So we need to learn delayed gratification. That's number one, right? Delayed gratification. So instead of getting a loan, then she went to South Africa to do a course to get into mining. We could always wait, especially because she had just joined the employment pool. I would understand that, no, you don't feel like you are where you're supposed to be, but sometimes it helps to just pause, maybe work 2, 3, 4 years, save, and then proceed with your plans, right? So these loans we could have avoided, and just the 1.8 would have taken her to at least taking home about 4,000, right? Taking home 4,000. But now she takes home 2.130. That's one. Then I said, then let us look at your metropolitan policies. What exactly is it? Right? Let's review. What exactly did you buy and for what purpose? So there's life insurance in there. So we need to review that to say, given that you now have a child, do we need to increase that? But also looking at the earnings, can you increase that? Or would we need to revise it down just for now? And you can increase it at a later stage, right? Then, at least her rent, she does not rent. Again, that's a good decision to say, I'm not going to rent. I've managed to get a place of my own and she's staying there. So that also works on the expenses. And then there's a 250 Namibian dollars for her child. Then the rest, you would imagine you need cosmetics like groceries, you need food, and food is quite expensive. That basket is quite expensive, eh? I'm just looking at the price of cooking oil. Guys, the price of cooking oil and just food in general has drastically increased. So she basically has about 1.9 to work for her child and herself in terms of groceries, food, and. Now, we looked at solution number one is looking at delaying gratification and not getting any more loans, right? But number two, and I need to stress this, guys, you can only budget so far and save so far. You cannot budget and save yourself to wealth, especially when you are on minimum wage. No amount of budgeting, no amount of saving when you're on minimum wage can actually propel you financially. So there are some drastic decisions that we need to take in action. And, there's work that we need to put in. So if you look at minimum wages, again, I indicated you cannot, we need to be cognizant of the fact that there are just certain incomes that you just can't do. You can't now say, start budgeting 50, 30, 20. No. You can't now say you need to put away 20% of your income into savings because the person is barely making ends meet. So what do we do in instances like this? I always say we need to have multiple streams of income. So that's solution number 2. You need to find another source of income. And at least she started with her business of selling sweets at work. And she can grow that, from sweets to airtime to cookies. At least there's an entrepreneurial spirit that is coming through here. But it's very important, even for those that earn relatively more. Say, for instance, your take home is 15 or 30, 60,000. Try by all means to have other sources of income, other streams of income. I personally have other streams of income. Here I am, I create YouTube videos. It's important to have multiple streams of income because especially in today's world, you just never know. Right? You just never know. What if you lose that one source of income? So look at your skill currently and try and tap into that. So for example, on weekends, she can then start looking at, I can clean, say for instance, 2 more houses, right? 2 more houses would generate me an additional 1,000, depending on how much people pay. I think people pay about $800 per day or 300. I don't know what their rate is. So in a weekend, you can even earn an additional 1,000, 1,500, depending on how much people pay per day to clean. You could take on washing jobs. I see a lot of students and they do this quite well, where they're like, can I wash your clothes? Can I clean your house for a certain amount? I just need pocket money. So that is an additional stream of income that she can actually get, right? Or even on weekends, if you are a cleaner, that means, you were able to go through the recruitment process and get into the employment pool. You can even look at selling, say for instance, food on weekends, braai, or, multiple streams of income. You can also look at serving as a substitute in a supermarket, like maybe half day or 1 day. But unfortunately, this is the reality. You might need to put in quite a bit of work to just get out of that situation. So the loans, going forward, delayed gratification. Then we need to review her insurance to just see what exactly she's paying for. Is she overinsured at this point in time? Is she underinsured? Right? Then we need to look at multiple streams of income where she can earn an additional 1,000 so that we can at least put it towards, one, we need to start an emergency savings for her, given that there is this baby daddy. And this baby daddy, I think, let's go to maintenance court if we have to. Right? Because sometimes you just have to. I mean, you're trying your best, I reckon. So, multiple streams of income. One, to earn more so that we can also accelerate that debt payment. We need to pay off at least one of the loans. The 300 one, we can start very quickly. She said 4 years. So if you can earn an additional 1,000 through either selling sweets, more cleaning like on weekends, or even selling braai vlees, or making braai packs on Fridays, that is income that you can generate. I don't know if you have any other skill. At some point, guys, I even used to braid. So I grew up with an entrepreneurial father. So at any point in time, I always had multiple streams of income. Even at school, already from my high school years, I was selling sweets, chocolate. In university, I would go to South Africa, buy clothes, come and sell. I did different things just to earn a little bit more income. Then that is essentially what you need to try and do. Again, even if you earn more than this minimum wage at 30, at 60, you want to look at what is your skill that you can actually then tap into to earn yourself additional income, right? Then we need to look at, and it's good that she doesn't pay rent, but we need to look at self-development. I cannot stress this enough. And in one of our videos, remember, there was someone in logistics that did not get enough points in grade 12 to get to university, but they say that is not going to stop me. I'm going to try and pursue this further. So what can happen here is we need to develop, because fairly young, you can then decide to improve your matric results if your matric results were not good enough. Because now you're older, you understand life. You know exactly why I will be studying and I will not be going to my friends to go hang, why I need to pass. So improve your matric results, right? And also try and, I think, mature age possibly, see if you can get into university, right? Before we go to university in South Africa, there's quite a bit that we can do at home in NAST, in UNAM. And on top of that, you could possibly get NASFA funding if you just apply, right? So try and improve your matric results, and this is going to be a process, right? Again, success is not an overnight thing. Put your head down, improve your results, and the fact that this wasn't the go-getter, the fact that you grab land and say, listen here, I'm going to get this for myself. You can do things, eh? You can decide, I am now going to improve my results and I'm going to pass for me and my baby's sake, right? So self-development is very important. Just that certificate could be the one thing that then propels you to your next role, especially the fact that you're already in government. You can then look at the sector that you are in, that specific government. What can I do? What course can I do? What certificate can I do? Well, let me just improve my results so that I can get to university, so that I can actually get a qualification to get out of this situation. So, unfortunately, with minimum wage, again, I'm going to say it and just to summarize it, and please feel free if you would like to talk about your finances and you just need assistance in structuring. Here's my email address. It's woven@outlook.com, and we can have a look at possibly some solutions for you. So in a nutshell, 1, multiple streams of income. Try to increase your income. 2, that income then needs to go down to debt payment and building an emergency fund. Number 3, after this, let's not get into further loans. Let's learn delayed gratification. Number 4, we need to review the insurance side to see what it is that we need to optimize on if you're not optimized already. And then self-development, which is very important. So this is not a 1-2 year plan. It's one of those, let's look at a 3, 4, 5 year plan for you to get, or turn around time to get you out of this situation. Then we also need to look at maintenance court to say, this man is only supports when he feels like it, therefore I need assistance. So overall, what I'm saying again is, sometimes you cannot budget or save your way out of minimum wage. What you need to do is increase your income and all these other aspects that I've mentioned. So I hope this was helpful from me, Woven. I'll see you guys next time.